Hi friends, welcome back to VV Sisters channel. I'm very glad to meet you all in another video. Today's video is about making of Barbie doll cake. Look how pretty this princess is. You can also make a similar kind of cake very easily at home. For that, I have taken a 10-inch cake board. I'm using a 10-inch cake board because I think it will be perfect. I'm using a 7-inch cake as my base cake. So I have the 10-inch cake board. If not, you can take a bigger size also. I'm adding the butterscotch to my buttercream. It's the same process. I have applied a few tablespoons of buttercream on the cake board and then spread it out, and then added my 7-inch cake on top of the board, on in which I used a 2-inch cutter and cut the center portion of the cake. I will let you know why did I cut the portion in the halfway of my process. Also adding my buttercream inside the portion where I made a cut. Now I have added the 6-inch cake layer on top of it, on which also I made a 2-inch hole in the middle. I'm doing my crumb coat also as I'm working on the layers of the cake. Since on the bottom layer I'll be using a pink color, so I'm adding the same pink color for my crumb coat also. Meanwhile, when we are adding the cake layers, I added the sugar syrup also on the cake before adding the buttercream. How to make the sugar syrup I showed in the another video before this, so please go back and check the video. Here I'm adding another 6-inch layer on top of the first 6-inch cake layer. So on the whole I have used 7-inch cake layer and two 6-inch cake layers for as for now. On this cake layer also I made a cut in the middle, so I'm using the cream inside the cuts also. I'm spreading it out well, and I'm doing the crumb coat also on the sides so that the crumbs will stay intact within the cream and it won't come out while we are working on the outer layer. I have mentioned why the crumb coat is really necessary in my before video. Cake decorating secrets revealed. Cake like a boss. In that video, you can watch why it is needed, and you can watch the basic needed steps in those videos. I will attach the link of the video in the description also. You can go and check there. I have added the 5-inch cake layer, and I didn't do the crumb coat for this because on the top layer I will be using a different color. So I'll be coating with the top two layers with those colors. So on top of the 5-inch cake, I have added a 4-inch cake in which also I cut the middle part. Now I'm adding the cream to that. A bit little tear bit on the top layer. Since it was a small cake like 4-inch, in that I made a cut in the middle, so it was not able to stand properly. So I added a small chunk of cake to it, and I made a patchwork kind of thing. It worked out well. Now I'm adding the white color, like a cream color buttercream on the top two layers, because I will be using the lighter buttercream on the top for the outer look. So I used the same lighter color. So if you add the darker color on the crumb coat, so it will be visible outside when we do the lighter color on the top. So that's why I'm adding the light cream color on the top, so that almost that color will be using on the top. So here we go. It should look like a small mountain with a hole in the middle, so that we can insert the doll inside the cake. So for the bottom flowers, like I'm taking a dark pink color. So here I'm using a star nozzle, like which is 1M Milton star nozzle. Like I'll be starting roughly 3 layers on this cake. I'm gonna design the cake in 3 different ways. Like I'm will be using 3 different colors. This is called like ombre design. For ombre means like using from darker to lighter, darker, lighter, and lighter. So I'm using here is like dark pink and peach color, and then light peach color. I feel like this is good, and also my client also has the same color pattern. So that's why I'm choosing this. So as I'm clearly showing here how to make the design like a flower, just give a press and keep the nozzle on the cake where you want the design to be placed and just pull it out. That's it. It's so simple to make this design. Anyone can make it with the practice. So I'm just holding it in a straight against the cake, just in a right angle position. That's it. Portion I'm adding a pink color. I'm mixing pink and a peach color so that I will get a pinkish peach color. To attain that, I'm using a little bit of yellow also. This is the tip for how to attain the peach color is by adding pink and yellow colors. I would like my peach color a little bit darker, so I'm adding more pink on that, so it will be a little darker. So the next layer I can make it a little lighter. It is the same way I'm using again the Wilton 1M tape. I tip how to add the buttercream in the piping bag. So take a piping bag, make a small slit at the end, add the whatever tape you wish, you can add inside that. I added 1M Wilton tape. So after inserting that tape, I'm adding the buttercream inside the piping bag. So before adding the tip, if you add it, it's very hard. Like some people do it in double bags method, so that in that way also you can add it. So this is how I do it. So I'm just showing my own method. Okay. So for the first layer of a darker pink, I used four flower layers. For the second layer and third layer, I'm using three layers. So it's up to your wish on how far you need. You can add those designs like I feel in this way it is looking pretty, so I added this way. Keep watching the full video. I'll be giving tips and here and there and also at the end of the video. So as you see, I'm not adding the cream layers nearby to the hole where we made because they will miss when we insert the doll. Here comes our pretty little Barbie. As you see, I have saran wrapped the feet and hair so it won't touch the cake. So saran wrap is a food safe wrap, that's why I'm using it. And also I tied the hair with the wrap so that it won't hair won't get messy before you are finishing up the cake. So when after inserting, I added the top cream layers. So I added like a swirls to make the it look prettier more. Now I am adding the edible pearls to make the Barbie's dress look prettier. In this way, it will be looking more enhanced. So these are the edible sweet pearls. So my daughter is helping me here. She loves to help me sometimes. And just use the toothpick. You touch the cream and you can add the pearl. As you see here, I have kept the Barbie's hand raised because I didn't want the hand to touch the cream and mess around. And also it helps us to keep working on my design. So later on we can remove the hair and the hand, bring the hands down. I feel like Barbie's top color is not matching with my dress color. So I'm adding the light peach color for my tops. I'm using the Wilton number 16 piping tip here and I'm adding small stars all around the tops to cover the color so that it will look pretty and match along with our dress color for on the bottom. So I'm adding in the back side also and also for the straps. I'm still waiting. I need to remove the saran wrap which is covered around the neck and the hair. So after that I'll be covering the full strap. So now I'm adding small edible pearls on the tops because I was thinking bigger edible pearls would look awkward. So now I'm covering the top straps also. Ta-da! Look at our pretty little Barbie princess. How it turned out. She's looking gorgeous and pretty, right? Here is the our tips in making this Barbie doll cake. As I said, like after you are stacking layers and before the crumb coating or at least after the crumb coating, you need to refrigerate the cake for at least 15 to 20 minutes. In that way, your crumbs will be covered and your base coat will be hard enough to work on it on later with the outer covering and making the designs also. So when the base coat is hard enough, then it will be easy. That's the idea here. And also after doing each color layers, I refrigerate the cake for 5-10 minutes so that the bottom color will be hard enough so that I don't have to mess when I work on the next color. So when I finished the dark pink color, I refrigerated for 5-10 minutes. Then I started working with the peach, dark pinkish peach color. Then I refrigerated the cake again and then I worked on the light peach color. In the same way, after finishing all the three colors, I refrigerated for 10 minutes before inserting the all inside the cake. Hope you enjoyed my video and I also hope that you learned a few tips and tricks in making this Barbie doll cake. If you really enjoy this video, please go ahead and share with your friends who would love to watch this video and love to in making the cake. And also please subscribe to my channel to watch more videos like this. So like, share and subscribe to VV Sisters channel. Thanks for watching.